Hi beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel, Beautiful Awakening with Shantia. Welcome to another pick a card reading with me. So I'm so curious, I decided I wanted to do a reading on your soul contract. I want to look into and reveal to you guys what soul contracts you are completing and what soul contracts you're also activating. In my The Art of Healing video, I talk about the different soul contracts that we have, some of the common themes that play out in our life, and I like to see soul contracts as a double-sided coin, kind of like karma. So it's when you fulfill that soul contract and you face that fear, you face whatever challenge spirit or source has brought into your life, there is a reward. There's the light at the end of the tunnel on the other side. So we're going to get a look into that today, and I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Every video that I make is here to uplift your spirit, and that is my way of showing gratitude. So I really appreciate the support, and I hope you guys are continuously enjoying this content, enjoying the advice or whatever spirit is wanting to communicate to you. I like to think that everything I create is sort of a love letter to source, to spirit, and also to myself to keep my spirits uplifted as well. So I always try to put everything I can into it as I can. And I'm shooting this a couple weeks ahead of time because I'm going to be busy and I won't be able to edit. So hopefully this is going to come right at a time where it feels so aligned for you. All right, let's go ahead and get started with introducing the groups. All right, let's go ahead and introduce the groups. So we have group number 1. This here, I believe, is some sort of agate of the sort. I almost wanted to say quartz, but I think it might be an agate of the sort. And I've actually never used this in a reading before because I never felt any energy from it. But for some reason, this is the one that wanted to be used, so I'm kind of excited to channel with this for the first time today. All right, so group number 2, you have here the Sodalite, Pendulum, here, there it is. And group number 3, you have the Smoky, Quartz. And there that is. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our meditation. And here is the singing bowl. All right, group number 1, if you chose this lovely agate of the sort, we're going to go ahead and start with you. Hey, group number 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose this lovely agate, this is going to be the reading for you. So let's just go ahead and pull some energies and see whatever wants to come through. Okay, well, the first energy I was getting, it felt like a foxy sort of energy. So this felt like whatever soul contract you were asked to complete, it asked that you were not reactive or you let go of being reactive, because the energy felt very still, quite serious, concentrated, and focused. I'm getting a distinct energy, but I'm having sort of a hard time categorizing because I'm getting a feel for it. Like, for some reason, it's taking me to books and cardboard. Something about not being reactive, not being emotional. And I was also getting a triangle as well. So I think your soul contract had a lot to do with you staying grounded in spite of the situation that's unfolding around you. And this was all to help you gather knowledge, to study, to learn, to know more. And I think you are also being called to access that stillness from inside of you as well. But I'm getting sort of like calculative and aware. Because I just keep getting this energy of like something watching everything. So maybe this has a lot to do with you getting in tune with your observer that's just absorbing and taking in your experience, taking everything in. And I think I'm getting like a teacher, or I'm seeing someone scribble notes on like a board. They're taking notes on a clipboard, and they're just like, it feels like a coach. Like if a coach was to study their student and they were to take note of how fast they were, how quick did I do? Something like that. It's like getting information. That's what I'm getting, like collecting data, collecting information. Yeah, it also almost feels a little bit alien-like Star City, where you collect all the data and the information, you get on your ship and you head back to your space, your wherever you're meant to go. So some of you guys have some really interesting starseed origins where you're here to live this human experience. Maybe you never felt like you related to people to some degree, and you always felt like you were different because it's almost like after this incarnation is over, you're going to go somewhere else because you were just here to collect data, information. It's very interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and channel with this and see what wants to come through here. Okay, I'm getting, you guys are a part of some sort of tribe or collective. I was seeing a stack of tents, and it was taking me to Mulan, where she enlisted in the army in place of her father, and she was amongst these men, and at first they were like enemies, and they were sort of against her, and they thought she was weak, and then they all banded together, and they became her friends. But yeah, there's something about being a part of a collective, being a part of something. You're meant to be a part of something. And the tent always takes me to knowledge, takes me to wisdom, or like a temple, like energy. And a tent is, where I imagine the guru or the sage or the yogi goes in to meditate, to receive, to collect. Yeah, so you've been in a receptive mode quite a bit these past, I guess your entire life, but these past years, these most recent years, you've been collecting a horde of data, a horde of like intuitive spiritual data, like codes, upgrades. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Some of you you were asked to be brought here to bring peace, bring I'm getting sort of help the human race to become a little bit more sophisticated in its spiritual growth, spiritual intelligence, or in like organic. There's something organic about it too. Organic, very natural, or help people to attune. Because I'm getting this energy that you have a history, whether it's starseedy history or past life history, of being part of a very organic tribe who knows how to operate. So I almost get that you guys came into this lifetime like you know how to operate, like you have a very good sense for how to take care of yourself. You have a very good sense for how things work when it comes to being human, relationships, perhaps when it comes to purpose. You just have a strong sense for knowing how things actually work. And everything else is just sort of a remembrance, where if you're in front of a teacher or a guru, you're just remembering all the things you already knew. But I'm getting like strong tribal energy, and I'm getting that you guys were already educated in previous lifetimes about how you're supposed to operate. And you're sort of here in this lifetime to bring that experience to other people. And you were doing it with your tribe too. Okay. See if I can see anything in this. Yeah, I'm just getting that you guys are a part of some sort of organization. I don't like Camila, Lemuria. I don't know any of them uh, off the top of my head like that. I really don't. I'm still learning so much, but you're a part of a tribe strongly here. Very attuned, very natural, very flowy, getting sort of watery energy. Peaceful creatures. You're very peaceful. You're here to bring that to the world as well. And you're getting upgrades all the time. I'm seeing a lot of energy around this thing, and it feels almost like a sweet dog of the sort. So there's some sort of like loyalty. You're very loyal. You're a very loyal person, and you also know how to listen. So some of you probably already know, like, your parents aren't your parents. You have something else you answer to, right? Source, you could call it. But there's something beyond just source. There's like a specific organization. It could be like galactic, whatever, that you guys are a part of, that you get. It helps you. It gives you your guidance for how to operate. And that's what you're receiving all the time. So I'm kind of seeing like a kid in school, and while all the other kids are learning 1 + 1, this kid is sort of daydreaming, and he's receiving different information. She or he's receiving different information. They're not getting 1 + 1. They're getting something else. So you've been in this space of receiving since you were born, and you probably spent a lot of time alone, and you probably enjoyed your time alone, because whether you were fully aware of it or not, you were spending a lot of that time receiving the education that you needed, that was being downloaded into this human form, and it was being entangled with the human DNA. Yeah. A lot. Like, you get lots of insights all the time. Very active crown chakra. Okay, I gotta move on. Very exciting. I'm getting like strong. Whenever I get like that strong gut feeling, it's like powerful. It's almost overwhelming sometimes, because I'm like, I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, it's pretty powerful. It's like awe-inspiring, because it's beyond what we can see. If you were to watch a cartoon or something, maybe you could sort of imagine this force of energy around you all the time 24/7. Okay, let's just go ahead and pull some cards and see. Look at your soul contracts here. Ten of Wands. Whew, that's a lot of work. Yeah, so that is the completion right there. Yeah, I feel like you guys were always going to know. You guys were always at some point going to complete the contract that you needed to complete, or complete the cycle that you needed to complete, because I'm just getting that your work ethic is not from this human life. It's something you've learned already. Like, you have the work ethic to awaken. It's a lot of work. You know, as many of us are finding out, it's a lot of work to wake up. There's so much energy. You need to rest a lot. It's laborious. And it can be daunting, scary sometimes, but you're like, I just have to do this. I know it's going to be hard, but I just have to do this. That's kind of what I'm hearing from you guys. Okay. And we'll pull one more. We got King of Swords. Yep. There's the crown chakra, very lit. So you probably have some strong air houses or air signs. Third house, 7th, 11th, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Strong air energy, not by accident. Your mind is active all the time. I'm willing to bet you, I don't know if you guys are spacey, but maybe you get distracted a lot sometimes when you're reading. You get a lot. That happens to me a lot. And I feel like that's a common starseed spiritual awakening experience, old soul experience, where it's just like, whoa. It's like you read the first page and you're just like, ugh, so much information, I can barely focus. Yes. Strong. Yeah, you have a strong mind, you have a strong intuitive intellect here. And you're here to build it, you know, and bring it into this DNA, this human form. Find the strength to build it, bring it to that level there. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and pull some cards and see what else wants to come through. We got higher heart activation, dropping shields, divine love, your heart is healed. Yeah, sometimes the King of Swords can be someone who's very protective of their own energy. All the swords are about boundaries. They're very good at putting up boundaries and knowing where boundaries are needed. And we have sort of intuitive boundaries that we're putting in place where in human form, we would call this agreements. We would say, well, I'm not okay with someone treating me like that, or I'm not okay with people taking advantage of me. So I'm just going to say no. I'm going to say, no, I'm not interested in that. If someone wants to fight with me, I'm going to say, no, I don't want to fight. Right? So it's like very peaceful warrior, very like, nope, not going to do that. But with the dropping shields here, we got human shields. We got a lot of defensive energy, defense mechanisms that are here trying to protect our heart, but it's not really protecting our heart. It's just guarding it. And it's guarding it from being able to fully receive. So when you guys open your heart, you receive a lot. You know, you're like high on life when your heart is open because you're receiving so much. So we got higher heart activation, dropping shields, divine love, your heart is healed. So I would say most certainly this is a soul contract activation, is your higher heart activation soul contract, where you're activating divine love. So this means that you're tuning into unconditional love, learning how to be non-judgmental of people, of yourself, particularly. And when you forgive, all is forgiven. When you're willing to forgive everything, all situations, everything is forgiven. And you were doing all of that to get to this place of your heart is healed, right? So that detached energy, I was getting that coaching energy, definitely King of Swords. You guys are very good at detaching. I would say more than likely you probably weren't too heartbroken when certain things ended in your life, certain relationship dynamics ended in your life. In fact, you're probably, in some cases, relieved because you felt free. And I think a lot of perhaps connections to you might have felt somewhat burdensome because you're like, this is a lot of emotions, a lot of energy, and I'm just, you know, I feel like you guys are the type who would keep to yourself quite a bit because you're like, whoa, relationships are a lot of work, and they are. Because every relationship is responsibility. It's more responsibility, and most people don't know that. So they don't know it. They don't know that's what goes into it. But I'm just getting that you guys were you erred on the side of caution and maybe more passive and sometimes relief when it came to certain relationship dynamics playing out here. This is a beautiful energy, though. We got the blues and we got the pinks here. And this is sort of a bluey energy. So beautiful throat chakra energy here. So maybe there was a time where you didn't speak, you didn't know how to use your voice, or you didn't know how to speak your truth, and you've learned how to activate your throat chakra. You've learned how to speak your truth, be more open that energy up, free it up, be and express yourself in a way that's so authentic, so natural. Here. And now we just got this like pinky, soft energy going on inside. Divine love, unconditional. Okay, let's see what else wants to come through. So contracts. Well, you're also the dilettante. Dilettante is one who delights in the arts without having to be a professional. This alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Yeah. So you probably have that energy where you're not too attached to one idea or another. You're open to anything. You're not too fixated on what your life has to look like, particularly what your creative life gets to look like, or your career life, your professional life here. The shadow attribute is pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. Yeah, and she sort of looks like a hippie. Look at her. She's just doing whatever she wants. The hippies are just you guys are just earth angels. Y'all are just earth angels, okay? Very natural, right? I was getting that very natural organic energy. We get the flower pot, and she has very like natural colors, tones, florals. Yeah, she's got a flower here. She's painting a flower. Maybe you guys have affinity for flowers or affinity for florals as well. Plants, organic matter, quilts. Yeah, so you guys are very creative, very crafty sometimes, and you like to dip into all sorts of interests of your own choosing, because you're just here to flow with life and be here and enjoy every moment. I imagine that this would probably not work very well for any sort of rigid professional pursuits. So this is probably not going to work for someone who has 8 years of medical school to go to just to have, a 30-year career in the medical field. Probably not going to work that well for you. You need a very fluid and flexible lifestyle. So if things have not professionally worked out, or there have been some doors that have closed for you, it's all because it's freeing you up to just be ready to go wherever the wind takes you. Because you're a free bird. Yeah, you guys are the free bird. You're not interested in being stuck in one perception of yourself. You're a multi-dimensional, multifaceted being who is experiencing this continuous flow of creativity. You guys are always inspired, got lots of different ideas running through you all the time. And it's going to be important for you to just go with it. Whatever's important, whatever you're feeling drawn to, just do it. Whatever you're interested in, go ahead and do it. Because you're just flowing with life. You're flowing with your heart. Yeah, you guys are going to do a little bit of everything. And I don't see you guys being stuck in any kind of career path here. Your energy, yourself, your authenticity, what you bring into a room, to the people you connect with, or to anything that you create, is going to reveal. It's going to do everything it needs to do. So you're just going to find yourself lining up with situations all the time that just work. It's like perfect timing. Everything just sort of works out. Things just sort of align and come into your life naturally. And you'll find that you're really magnetic and you pull experiences to you. You don't have to work that hard, and I most certainly wouldn't work that hard at trying to pursue a professional career. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. We have here declutter. Yeah, definitely with the King of the Swords and the Ten of Wands. I think it's so weird. The spacey thing is very common amongst, people who are going on their spiritual journey. They start to really space out and stop thinking all the time. And I think this is all to prepare us to just declutter. It's a decluttering thing. That's why people sometimes they have memory problems. They're not really fixated on what they need to know. Even Eckhart Tolle says he doesn't prepare for his seminars or whatever you want to call them, because he is just present. It's about being in the moment, and he brings himself to that experience. He's not fixated on anything specific needing to happen. So this is going to be important, I think, to just sort of free you up to be attuned to wherever the universe wants to align you. So just continue to do that decluttering work. This says you'll feel better and more focused if you'll take the time to clear away clutter from your living workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need your items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. Yeah, I love that last part. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered. I think this is important. This is something I've been learning in the past year. I try not to volunteer for everything or whatever. I actually try to do, I wouldn't say the minimum, but I try to just do as much as people need me there for. Because I'm thinking to myself, what's more important? I like to save up most time for me and my creative ideas. That's like the thing that's of most interest to me. Everything else is, I don't want overworking or a hustling mentality to overtake my schedule at any point in time. So I always try to make up space for like rest and doing nothing, honestly. And I think you guys are learning how to embrace this in your life too. Exist, just be here. You don't have to be busy doing things all the time. That's a distraction. That's very much Matrix mentality here. Okay. Let's see what else wants to come through. Oops. Okay. We got Master Jesus, forgiveness. You're on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. Oh, was this a group? Yeah. I just talked about that, didn't I? With your Kutumi, Cloak of Wisdom, you already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. Yeah, sometimes it's weird. I feel like the cards just listen to me because I was talking about how you kind of just know stuff. You're just remembering things at this point. Very powerful. So, Master Jesus. Yeah, Yahweh. Sorry, Yeshua. Not the same person. What am I talking about? Okay. Very popular in the States, United States of America, and the Catholic Church. But ultimately, this is very much the energy of, I think, Yeshua. I've meditated with Yeshua's energy, and there were so many beautiful lessons that he talked about. One of them being pay it forward, go with the flow of life, everyone has the same value. He talked about choosing to go through the difficult path of life. It's important, like to climb our mountains, to go on our hero's journey, to really go where our heart is calling us. Our heart is calling us to climb mountains. Our heart is not calling us to stay stuck in certain situations that do not resonate with us. Our heart is never calling us to do that. That's why we get so uneasy. But most certainly, you guys have been in that place with this heart activation where you've been disappointed by either situations, things not working out. Could be professional things or relationships not working out, where you've had to forgive. And I'm willing to bet you the way that it often works is that the universe pairs us with very karmic partners and puts us in very karmic situations. And those who are put in the most difficult situations and who know how to be resilient often end up having to do a lot of this forgiveness work here. So I'm sure you can call them narcissistic. You've been paired with narcissistic personalities, very difficult people, very defensive, or people who are just sort of selfish. You've been sort of paired with those energies in your life, and you've had to deal with that. You've had to move through that. You've had to be gracious, find the grace in yourself. And I mean, you guys, your energy feels very pure. I feel like you have a very guilty conscience, so it keeps you from wanting to repeat those patterns, because you guys have already developed this from past lifetimes, very much so. You guys you've been doing a lot of healing. We are here to heal. Healing, that's why I made the video, The Art of Healing. That's why we exist. And it's not what people want to hear all the time. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to heal? Yes. We are here to heal. That's how we transcend, ascend. And it's so cool to be like, oh, I'm getting light upgrades and whatnot. Woohoo! But a lot of the light upgrades comes through pain and our trials and tribulations and pushing through the pain. That's how we get the upgrades. So you guys have been hurt many times repeatedly, and you've also forgiven many times repeatedly. And this has freed you up. It's freed your heart up. And sometimes we're always guarding our heart because we're like, I don't want to get hurt. But it doesn't work that way. We will always get hurt. Even if we try to isolate ourselves, we will always get hurt. The universe will always create that situation for us. And we're just going to have to exercise forgiveness. But this is what's freeing you up to be who you are. Yeah, with the Katumi Cloak of Wisdom, you already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. Very much the King of Swords and the Ten of Wands. You've been here to accumulate lots of wisdom and insight and be a teacher. I feel like these energies are, even the King of Swords is giving me a teacher energy where you can pass it on, pay it forward to other people, and show them how they also can forgive, how they can also open up their heart. Because that's pretty much the number one problem that we're dealing with as humans is we're learning how to forgive, learning how to push through our pain. We have to do that over and over again. So again, we got this energy of the blues. It's interesting how that lined up with the golds. You have a heart of gold, and this has all been from, you've developed this heart of gold and gentleness and kindness through all of those tears you had to shed, the pain you had to experience here. All of those tears you've shed were taking you closer into this beautiful river that was flowing down, taking you straight to source, straight to your golden era of life. Here, you've had to grieve, you've had to acknowledge, face your fear, face the pain. You know, I think the universe has most definitely put you in situations where you have felt so powerless many times over, and you couldn't do anything. So you cried, you let it out, and then you felt a little better afterwards, as we often do after we cry. We're like, oh, I feel a little bit better. I think I really needed that cry. Yeah, but this is all bringing you into this space where, you know, you're tuning into becoming more of that earth angel, and you're here to birth here with Christ. Christ consciousness is all about birthing in the new earth and bringing love. The new earth is all about love. It's defined by love. It's about being in the energy of love with this heart activation. So you guys are here to be love. This is the pile of love here. Let's go ahead and close out your reading. You got Taurus, Saturn in the 10th house. Yeah. So we got an answer here for career pursuits for you guys. Steady does it. You know, Taurus is about putting in that work. Even this 10 of Wands, there's no shortcut. Contrary to what people say, yes, maybe sometimes in past lives we have good karma that we get in the next lifetime, but, you know, fame and lots of money is not a very humbling experience for people. It actually makes them, it feeds their ego and it feeds their selfish energy. So it actually tests you and tempts you a lot. And because you get what you want, it's so easy to fall into those temptations and lose yourself in it. Here. But to me, with that Saturn 10th house and the Taurus work, that is about putting the day-to-day work. This is about being present every day in your body and having to grind it out. It's not about the hustle culture, right? Of like, let me just be really busy for nothing. No offense. But it's about, let me be here in my body. Let me be strong here in my body. Let me take care of myself. Let me be disciplined with myself. Discipline with the day-to-day effort and hard work. What am I working hard at? Taurus second house is all about building your self-worth and also trusting the process, because you're not going to get all of it in one day and overnight. You know, you're going to get it after you put in the work. And the thing is, your abundance group number 1 that's coming in, you know it's coming in because you've been working at it. You just know it's coming towards you here with this cloak of wisdom. You just have a sense of, well, I know I'm going to get it because I've been putting all this work in, and it's just the way it works as far as the divine order of things. We have to understand there's nothing really to fear when it comes to a lack of anything, money, resources, because when you tune into those higher sources and energies, you start to realize, wow, the divine order says I'm meant to be taken care of. And it also says that when I'm willing to ascend, open my heart, and face that fear and be still, things will come to me. Taurus is very magnetic, Venusian energy here. You know, we're also connected to love. You've had to be patient. This is not easy work. You've been working at this for some time. And at times you have been very impatient. You're just like, why is it not here? But your soul contract is you got to be patient, because patience makes you humble. It makes you grateful. It makes you gracious. It makes you appreciative. It makes you actually generous, loving, kind. It helps to activate all of those beautiful qualities in what makes a good person, right? A perception of what's a good person. So yeah, you've hit lots of roadblocks. You've hit lots of doors in your life, particularly in your recent past. You've hit a lot of doors, but those were not the doors for you. Okay, there's a big door and it's just going to open for you here. And honestly, you could probably just walk through it and imagine there's a big door in front of you. Walk right through that and just know that that is your pathway. And whatever happens once you walk through that door, it's going to be beautiful and it's going to be what is meant for you. You have a soul contract of abundance, but it's meant to be activated through hard work, diligence, patience, and the diligent effort that you put into the day-to-day. That's here to help ground you. A part of your soul contract is also to be grounded, to be here in your body as well. So can't be flighty. You know, as much as it's nice to connect with the angels and the galactic energies and whatnot, we still have to ground in ourselves. So that's something that you've been having to work at too. Perhaps you can be imaginative, quite spacey, but you got to be here. You got to pull yourself back to earth. Come back down to earth. And once you're able to really feel more connected to earth here, more of that abundance starts to become obvious and apparent in your life. I feel like the universe has taken care of you. I feel like you guys have had the resources that you've needed, but there's more to come here. More to come, and it's going to multiply. I'm seeing an exponential growth here moving in the future for you guys. Because Saturn rewards you like a king. It really does. The 10th house of life purpose here. Life purpose, you know, we call it career, but it's really like, what are you working at? And you're working at you. And for you, you're working at the you who is patient and hardworking, here to do the work. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out your reading here. I could talk all day, group number 1, but I got to go move on to the next group. Like, subscribe to support, and let me know if this resonates. Thank you guys so much. Bye. Hey, group number 2, welcome to your reading. If you chose this lovely Sodalite Pendulum, this is going to be the reading for you. All right, let's just go ahead and pull some energies and see what wants to come through. I'm very curious to know about some of your soul contracts and which ones you've completed, you're on your way to completing, and what you're also activating in your life. I'm hearing easy does it. So I was getting this energy is like stretching out, relaxing. I was seeing someone sort of sink in mud. It's kind of this energy like, I don't know if you imagine you're in a mud bath and you just sink into it, and it's very comforting. Maybe I'm also getting a reference to the lotus flower, which grows in the mud, right? Oh yeah, relax. Yeah, it's very much this energy of relax. You're gonna be fine. I think some of you have been quite lucky many times, often, where you're just like, wow, things just work out for me. It's really weird. Or I thought something bad was gonna happen and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And it was just fine. But maybe some of you also have had issues with anxiety. You felt a lot of anxiety that you've had to work through, and you've had to teach yourself how to relax, how to be just moldable, very patient, moldable to your environment, to your situation, moldable around your mind too, whatever the projections or the worries that your mind is creating. How do I relax? How does one relax when you have all of this anxiety developing when you're in a difficult situation? I was just seeing someone relax. So literally the universe is going to carry you and ease you into whatever situation. I'm hearing every situation in your life. Look at examples, and I'm hearing, think about some of the situations you've gone through where it just worked out. It was difficult, and then it just sort of worked out. Now what happened? It's 1:44 for you guys. Woohoo! There's something worked out for you because you guys are part of the 144 mission. You guys are protected, very much so. And this has to do with the code of honor. The code, is that what I call it? The code of honor that you've been developing, your spiritual code of armor. I meant to say armor, but I said honor. So I think you guys have been very honorable people. You lived a very honorable pathway that's brought you to where you're at. You've honored yourself. You've honored certain situations. I was having an interesting conversation with some friends the other day, and I was actually surprised by some of the shady things that they have been up to in the past. And I was like, when I was 6, I did do this, but I would never think. I have such a guilty conscience. I would never think as an adult, I don't know, to do something like that. So, it's really interesting. We're all just weird. We're so funny. We have our quirks and you just never know until you have these honest conversations with friends. When everyone's relaxed, you really start to see what's going on, right? They start to tell you what's up. But yeah, I feel like you guys are very honorable people, and you always feel like you want to do the right thing in every situation. And yeah, you live by this code of honor, which has helped to develop your coat of armor, of protection, spiritual protection. Yeah. So be the lotus flower, just relax in that mud. It's going to be fine. You know, you literally, whatever chaotic situations that have shown up in your life, when you're not reactive to it, nothing happens. And nothing happens to you. We're the ones who get ourselves caught up. We start thinking, oh my gosh, this can't happen. I have to do something. This is not good. I gotta. And then we're the ones literally creating more drama in our lives. And I think you've learned, you feel very, I don't know, the antithesis of drama. It's like, I don't really want drama. Very much the lotus flower. Like, I don't really want drama. I don't want to create drama. How do I create the least amount of shakeup in this space? So I feel like you guys really don't like to bother people. Perhaps you've been around a lot of people, energies, environments, situations, karmic situations, relationships where there's been a lot of chaos. It's a lot of this. Ugh. It's very stormy all the time. In fact, this is my stormy energy. I forgot. It's very stormy all the time where people are just, ooh, lots of emotions, very reactive. And you're just like, it's boot camp. That's what I'm hearing. It's boot camp. It's like trudging through the mud, trudging through the mud. You've had to go through that muck. And that muck has prepared you for like the mental strength and capacity to just know how to relax, because there's like a fail safe that developed over time within you where you just stopped reacting to things because you were so used to it. You're like, I'm so used to drama that some part of me just knows if I react to it, it's not going to work. It's not going to do anything for me. So if I'm non-reactive, everything pans out just fine. And some part of you just knows that. Okay, let's go ahead and meditate with this lovely Sodalite. And we'll see whatever wants to come through. It's been a minute since I meditated with this guy here. Oh, he's a little tangled. Okay, so part of your lesson is harmony. I'm getting like Venus, Libra energy, or 7th house energy. I'm also getting, you guys have a soul contract for a life partner or a divine counterpart or partner of some sort who mirrors you. I was seeing two energies. So there's someone you're meant to live in harmony with. A lot of these, you guys have definitely had some karmic relationships that have shown up that have been like very opposite of you. And you've tried to find a way to make it work. Those situations were preparing you for a harmonious partnership and relationship. So basically, you had to learn the opposite to learn how to know what to create. Perhaps you've seen examples, even if you weren't in those tumultuous relationships, romantic relationships particularly, you saw examples of it where it was very stormy, very up and down, and you're like, ooh, I don't want to do that. So the universe was constantly putting examples in front of your face just so you can be prepared to harmonize. And we always have a choice. Everyone's karma is always playing out, but we always have a choice to decide, do I want to participate in this and repeat the pattern or not? But you guys have a strong code of armor too, that you like to abide by. So it doesn't appeal to you to become the storm in the storm. You want to be the safe haven in the storm if you can. And perhaps you're very protective over other people too, where you want to be that kind, peaceful energy to them as well. Let me go ahead and replace the battery really quick. Okay, let me go ahead and not meditate, but look at this Sodalite pendulum and see if anything wants to come through. Ooh. All right. Big soul contract. Whatever your biggest fear was, you have to face it. I'm not talking about heights and like maybe you have a fear of heights, but this is because our deepest fear isn't things like heights. Our deepest fear has more to do with relationships and ourselves and our self-esteem. But you've had to face your biggest fear. I'm seeing a big boogeyman. Huge. You've had to face whatever the biggest fear was, you've had to face it. And I'm hearing like multiple times. I think you've also been in situations where you're thinking to yourself, why does this keep happening? Like, I don't want it. I'm not trying to attract it into my, why does this keep happening? And it's because it was training grounds for you. It was training grounds for you to learn how to develop that code of armor, basically, spiritual code of armor, where you're able to be resilient and handle it. Biggest fear, whatever that is, just anything that like hurts your heart, it's scary. You want to avoid it, but it keeps reappearing in your life, is what I'm getting. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. Well, I guess the final thing I can say about this is that I like the point in the pendulum. To me, it's about finding the answers within, right? Pendulums help us to give direction. They help to show us the way. So I feel like you've had to find your way in the storm where you're feeling like, whoa, this is a lot of debris. I feel really lost. Where do I go? And you've had to tune into that inner compass because your environment, your circumstance, you aren't getting enough clarity or validation. I'm getting that there is probably not going to be anyone in your life that was showing up in your life that was actually giving you the advice you needed, because the advice you needed was in you. And it was going to be found out, learned, and figured out through you going through situations. Here. Facing your fear. Yeah, you guys definitely have to face it. I can see it. You've definitely faced the storm before, many times. I'm picking up. All right, let's go ahead and pull some cards and see. Yes, so contracts, group number 2. I got here Knight of Cups. They went straight to the heart and love. Yeah, so you definitely have a soul contract to experience love and romance in your life, but in order for you to attract this into your life, you've had to open up your heart. And in order for you to open up your heart, you had to experience some kind of heartbreak. Yeah. But I love the Knight of Cups. Like, he's literally dreaming. The Knight of Cups is a very dreamy dreamer, romantic person where they're like always thinking about their person, or they've always had a desire where they're like, I really believe and I want that person in my life. I always think of it as someone who is, I don't know, maybe they're a little bit more settled in life and they're ready to find their person. They're looking for their person out there. Where's my soulmate? Where's my person? Where are you out there? So beautiful soul contract, relationship. Let's see what else wants to come through. Black Terror, 2 of Pentacles. Very nice. Working in harmony. You know, we can tie this into the romantic partnership where this is going to be a balanced relationship where it's 2 people who are willing to do the work, who are willing to do the day-to-day work, put in the day-to-day effort and commitment and devotion to building it. 2 of Pentacles in general is about flexibility and being flexible, you know, to the storm, to our environment, to the situation, to whatever is going on up in our heads. We have to be flexible to that too. And, you know, actually, whenever I am cooking in the kitchen, I do like to be quite flexible to like food. I like to just sort of throw things together and whatever works together, because I'm like, you know, if I don't have an ingredient, I'm not going to freak out. I'm just going to figure out how to make it work, right? So very much that make it work energy is coming through. You've had to, many times in life, make it work. Group number 2. Yeah, 2 Pentacles and 2. You just found a way to make it work, and you found a way to make, what is it called? Rainbows out of clouds, lemonade out of lemons. You found a way to make lemonade out of lemons. Many times you've been put in sour situations, sour circumstances where you've found a way to optimistically fight your way through it. But yeah, I was getting find your way through it. Work it out. So I'm also getting, perhaps you have, you know, you've had people in your life who are like, I don't know, like very anxiety ridden, and you're the person who just comes in and you're like, it's gonna be all right. We're gonna be okay. It'll be fine. You know, you're the sanity in the insanity, right? Okay, let's pull some more cards and see what else wants to come through for you guys. We got here deservingness. Aww. You're a beloved child of God. like everyone else, and you deserve to receive the support that will allow you to focus upon your divine life purpose. Even if you can't yet recognize your lovable qualities, trust that God and the angels can see how amazing you truly are. Yeah. I think you've definitely had a very difficult, challenging relationships where people projected their own insecurities onto you because they weren't doing that inner work for themselves. So they just projected their insecurities onto you, being like, oh, you don't, nobody likes me and you don't like me either, something like that. So you learn that behavior. And so you've had to struggle where you could have a 12th house placements, 8th house placements can create this sometimes, or like a heavy Saturn somewhere paired with like a moon or any conjunct any of your planets can create that heaviness or that heavy load of wanting to hide here. So sometimes you felt like hiding in life where you're just like, I want to be invisible. I don't know. And it had more to do with sometimes maybe, yes, you want to be alone, you want to isolate, you want to hermit, you want to pull away, you feel a lot, you felt a lot. But also, there's the aspect of wanting to hide too. Hide yourself away. Like, I don't want people to see me. I don't know. I'm just going to be by myself in this corner here. And the universe is like, no, you're meant to be with people here. You're meant to be loved. You're meant to be supported here. And you've had to build up your self worth. You've had to build up that deservingness in your heart. You are a beloved child of God, like everyone else, and you deserve to receive the support that will allow you to focus on your divine life purpose. You guys have a beautiful divine life purpose that you are contracted to become aware of, and I think it has a lot to do with being the calm in the storm here. Being in the calm in the storm, maybe being a counselor to people, being that peaceful energy. You could be like an art teacher of some sort, or perhaps you put on, I don't know, you have a little cafe somewhere where you come in and people just feel so at peace in your beautiful cafe, or you make these um, posters or designs or prints, and whenever people put them on their wall and they look at it, they just feel so at peace, and like life is so beautiful and pure and good. And there are good people out there, and you're one of those people, very pure here. Yeah, so amazing, so deserving, y'all are. Because that's the way we're all born. We're all born to be deserving, to be wonderful. Yeah, maybe you come off as quite ethereal, fairy princess-y sometimes. Or you like to wander off in the forest by yourself, and whenever people come upon your energy, they feel very at peace. And the world needs more of this. Okay, let's see what else wants to come through. Actually, with this Two of Pentacles, I feel like you guys know what your contract is. Some of you. Ooh, King. Nice. I think some of you guys are quite aware of what your soul contract is here with her looking at this piece of paper. I think you've noticed some of the patterns in your life, and you've took notes. You've took inventory of some of the patterns that have played out in your life, and you're like, there's something going on here. I'm starting to catch on to what's going on. So I'm getting that you guys are very self-aware of your contracts, and some of your contracts, and what needs to be completed and what lessons you're needing to learn. And this King energy here is definitely taking me back to that code of honor, that coat of armor as well. King. Enlightened, benevolent leadership benefiting those in your charge. The shadow attribute is excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. You're the king who is here to be of service to the kingdom. You're the king who's here to be of service to the people. You're not just there sitting on your throne enjoying your good turkey and jewels. You also want to be of contribution in some way and make a real difference in your community in some way. You want to be that person that people can rely on. You want to bring that good energy into every space that you step in. And I'm getting that people definitely get that from you. Group number 2. They feel this energy of nobility from you, where it feels like you're someone who's very honest. You honor yourself, you honor others, and in this sense, that's why they feel like they want to trust you. So at some point, there are going to be some activations, contracts for you where you're put into a place of leadership here, and people are going to be looking up to you, but at this point in time, you'll be trained to handle it. Maybe at some points in times with this deservingness, you've had to deal with some imposter syndrome where you're like, who? Me? But, because your confidence is very much spiritually developed and it's less developed and based off of how good you can do something, I feel like you're just going to have a sense for, well, I just need to be what these people need me to be right now and I'm going to arrive and bring it. Bring that energy because I think you're very self-aware of what you bring to the environment, to a room, to an experience, what you can bring as well. We got the enlightened, so this is someone who is just aware of more. I saw 11:22 on the clock, so self-mastery, something you've had to work on. Perhaps you have quite a visionary idea of how you want your life to unfold or what you're feeling called to. I'm not getting any rigid energy around you guys because you've had to learn how to be flexible, relax, be the calm in the storm. When people are stressing out, can I be the sanity in the insanity here? And I feel like you've been very humbled by life. I feel like entitlement has probably been something people have reminded you you can't do, where they're like, "Oh, you think you're better than me?" Like, "No, I don't think I'm better than you. What?" So I think you guys have had to, people have humbled you, and it was probably difficult, but it also made you very self-aware too of being a positive light. And I feel like some of you are probably too nice. Okay? Probably too nice. All right, let's pull some more cards and see what else wants to come through here. Yeah, there's a lot of abundance that is meant for you guys. There's a lot of even recognition that's supposed to come in your life. So, don't be shocked. There's some amazing things that are meant to come in your life. Group number 2. With your emerald tablet, like you guys literally are meant to get your person, the life that you want. Like if you were to have kids, you'd be surprised. Like, oh my gosh, these are my dream kids. This is crazy. Because there's just so much that the universe is trying to bring into your life here with this deservingness. All right, with the emerald tablet activation, we have here cosmic ordering, divine alchemy, conscious manifesting here. So you guys are here to be conscious manifestors, which means there have probably been doors that have showed up in your life where things just did not manifest. They were not meant to manifest. And I'm hearing some of those doors closed quickly and swiftly so that you can be redirected on your pathway here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read from the book about the Emerald Tablet. The Emerald Tablet is one of the most celebrated of Hermetic texts, a series of sacred Egyptian and Greek texts from the 2nd century or earlier. They form the basis of Hermeticism, a spiritual tradition that brings together science and spirituality through investigations into the cosmos, mind, and nature. Most of the texts are a series of dialogues between a teacher and a student, and are based on the concept of alchemy, the art of turning lead into gold, or something that is leaden and heavy into a golden opportunity. The Emerald Tablet is said to have been carved on a bright green stone that was transported to Egypt around the fall of Atlantis and stored in the halls of Amenti, under the Great Pyramid. Although this legend is widespread, the origin of the text is shrouded in mystery. We do know that is made of 14 passages, which first appeared in a book written sometime between the 6th and 8th centuries and has been highly influential. Its most famous statement is, "As above, so below," meaning that what is in the high heavens is reflected upon earth. The author signs off as Hermeses Trismegistus, which is another name for Thoth, who is featured in this deck and is thought to have been the priest king of Atlantis. The idea is that he knew of the approaching end of the civilization and hid the Emerald Tablet and many other teachings in order to preserve them for spiritual aspirants in the future. Hidden knowledge. We got here your message. When the Emerald Tablet activation card appears, you're being called to remember the gifts you are carrying from previous lifetimes. Even if you don't always understand how to express them, there's a part of you that knows you hold great power within. This is a special time for you to use that power to bring into manifestation all that you need for your life to unfold in a way that is in alignment with your best interests. All that has unfolded so far has given you the opportunity to learn and grow even the unsettling moments. Yes, the storm. But you are a master alchemist with the capacity to take all that was once challenging and use it to create positive opportunities for yourself. As above, so below. All the thoughts you send up to Source will contribute to your evolution on Earth. Right. So that's why you guys had to go through the storm, because you were here to learn how to become a master alchemist. You're the master of alchemy, group number 2. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and pull, is it one more card? We're getting a lot of blues and greens for this. To me, this feels quite mysterious, very intriguing. I think you guys are a huge fan of research and into getting knowledge, hidden knowledge, and accessing that hidden knowledge. And one of the things I'd recommend is that one of the best ways for you to access hidden knowledge is through observing your life, journaling, and meditation. Oh, we have here Dwa Call. Whoa, you guys got 3. We got Dwa Call, Dharma Unfolding. Remember that you are on a path. We got here, blue green here. Dwa Call, Dharma Unfolding. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step to happiness. We have here Archangel Michael. Trusting heaven. You are safe. Angels stand close. Angels stand close. The way that was written there, it's funny. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. Yes, you are safe. Relax. We have here faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm. There we go. Stay calm. Trust the good in yourself and others. See the light in the world. Right. Very beautiful. So again with the blues, so that's taking me to some throat chakra, heart chakra energy, but also a little like mysterious alien vibey energy going on as well. I feel like you guys are researchers. You're very curious about a lot, and this has helped you. This has just been mirroring your desire to research and understand and learn more. Is just a mirror into your infinite curiosity, your expansion, the light codes upgrades you're constantly getting all the time. So part of your soul contract is to learn how to develop faith here. Also, going back to the Emerald Tablet activation here, I was talking about abundance. You guys are here to be conscious manifestors. That's 6th level of consciousness. If you watch my 7 levels of consciousness video, this is 6th level consciousness, but 7th level consciousness is when we really surrender it. Here, that's the most conscious you can possibly go. To me, with the divine alchemy, learning those lessons, going through those hard experiences is definitely 7th level, where we're tuning into forgiveness, we're surrendering, and we're trusting whatever wants to come onto our path, as opposed to trying to control it too hard. Here, so I think life has humbled you in a way where, again, the doors have closed. Some things did not manifest that you wanted to manifest, but certain things were aligned in your life that did manifest, and those were meant to work out for you. With your faith, so you've had to learn how to build your faith in people and be a good person. We have a double with the benevolence, so benevolent leadership. We got benevolence with faith here as well. So you're all about doing the benevolent right thing, right? Code of honor, coat of armor. Here we have your Archangel Michael, trusting heaven. So you're very much connected to the angels here. This is probably something you've developed in your past lifetimes, or maybe as a new soul on mission. You came here with this knowingness to just trust. Here, to know that there's a higher power that's helping you. Archangel Michael is no joke. He cuts through the BS. He helps to guide us and is a fan favorite of the Christian community, I would have to say. The Christian New Agey community. Yeah, people love connecting with Archangel Michael, and you might actually want to meditate with Archangel Michael's energy to see whatever wants to come through. But either way, you have angels who are close by, watching your every move and helping you out, guiding you, showing you the way, lighting your path up. So just know that things are always going to work out for you. You know, I'm hearing with this group, like, if you've been in like the most disastrous experiences, they always work out for you somehow. With a dwell called Dharma unfolding, you're ready to embrace your Dharma as opposed to the karma. So you're definitely closing out your karmic cycle and opening up your dharmic cycle here. So keep taking one step at a time, which means being alive, being here one day at a time, and doing that work as well. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading, group number 2. We have your Cancer, Uranus in the first house. Yeah, so there's some upgrades, some changes taking place in your life. You guys have to learn how to develop your emotional flexibility, durability quite a bit. With that Knight of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, it's definitely giving me flexibility around the emotions here. You might feel like your emotions are quite heightened right now because you're tuning in, you're becoming more sensitive to life, and you're going to learn how to adjust. So, part of the awakening process is that you become more sensitive to the world, but then you're also given the tools that you need to know how to adjust. So you might hermit more, you might pull away from having an overactive lifestyle. You might have seasons where you can be active and seasons where you can't. Whereas before you were more involved with everyone else in the world and whatever was going on. But now with that Cancer, your energy is very attuned to the cyclical shifts and changes that are going on. It could even be very attuned to the moon signs. So you might just have a sense for knowing, oh, today I need a rest. Today I'm ready to be active. So very much, I would say take 5 minutes every day. Tune into yourself and just see where you're at. See if it's an active day or you're being called to do something. Really sit and listen. Uranus is also the intellectual genius, and Moon can be quite intelligent too, because Moon is mind. Moon and Mercury are both mind, but the Moon is more of an intuitive intelligence, whereas Uranus is, I think, a combination of both, probably intuitive and highly intelligent, can be very smart, very futuristic thinking as well. I think you guys have an idea of where your future is moving, where it's going towards. This is quite obviously showing you that the universe has a plan for you, and it's maneuvering you towards that plan. I'm going to go ahead and pull some clarifiers for this first house, Uranus. Yep, you're going through a lot of changes and shifts in your life. Let's go ahead and see what wants to come through here. Clarifier, we have here the Page of Pentacles. Clarify that Uranus, Cancer in the first. We have here the High Priestess. Yeah, strong intuition, trust. We got the blue-green energy coming through, very strong for you guys. Very intuitive, very flowy. Very flowy. Lots of water energy showing up here for you guys. High Priestess is connected to Pisces. We got the Six of Wands. Be confident in yourself. You guys have a very strong, powerful intuition that's leading you towards a new shift, a new change in your life when it comes to your Pentacle situation with the Two of Pentacles. There's a shift taking place when it comes to your financial stability, your financial situation, your material, your resources here. So there's a new way, there's like a new inventive way where materially things are showing up differently in your life. They just want you to be confident and continue to trust. Keep climbing up that mountain because everything's going to work out for you. Here, you're almost there. Here. So just trust it. Whatever solution that you're needing to show up is going to show up here. But very strong contracts and to use your intuition, to trust your inner self to guide you here. And it's very attuned with the High Priestess. All right, we're going to go ahead and end the reading here, group number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe to support, and let me know if this resonates. Thank you. Bye. Hey, group number 3, if you chose this lovely Smoky Quartz, then this is going to be the reading for you. All right, let's just go ahead and pull energies and look into your soul contracts and, what's being completed. Are you on your way to completing? And what's being activated? Okay. Not really sure how to interpret that. I feel like you guys have a warrior spirit connected to you. There's some aspect to you where you don't play. Like you are particular or strict or set on the real deal is what I'm hearing. You don't play around. I guess the way I could describe it is that you have a very strong warrior spirit. You have a very strong warrior spirit. You have a very strong soul, essence. And it feels quite experienced to me. You know, it's not coming from nothing. Maybe it's just the soul is quite moldable and it just knows how to be what it needs to be when it needs to be it. But yeah, I was getting this sort of creature. It was like a crab energy, like underwater, but it was glowing and it felt quite fierce. And if you think of crabs, they have sort of a hard shell. It was also giving me sort of like an insect energy as well. Which takes me to sometimes how insects, they move according to their instincts. They have antennas, they're using their instincts, and there's something about moving in the dark too. Moving in the dark, doing that shadow work as well. I'm also hearing doing the work that nobody sees, nobody cares to do, nobody cares for. It's kind of taking me to thankless energy. You know, some people say that being a parent is a thankless job because you put so much work into it, but are those kids really appreciative of it? Sometimes, sometimes not, right? They won't know until they have their own kids how much work goes into it, or they become an adult, how much work went into it. They won't have a strong sense for it. I'm getting a little cleanup work too. I feel like you guys are willing to do a lot of the cleanup work. I'm not saying with people necessarily. I'm saying this has to do with yourself. So it's shadow work. It's like facing yourself, facing your fears, facing your shadow, doing your shadow integration work, going into that darkness. There's sort of like a fearless energy I'm getting. So part of your soul contract was learning how to become a fearless spiritual warrior who went into the shadow, looked at the dark, lurked in the areas of danger, you know, where humans would be like, that's dangerous, that's scary, that's terrifying. You were being called to take on a certain way of life that looks terrifying to other people, but for you, you just have a sense for, I have to do this. I'm getting dutiful duty. I need to do this. I just need to do this. It's the right thing. Okay. Let me go ahead and meditate with this lovely Smoky Quartz and see what wants to come through. Okay, I was sort of getting a rotating energy of this sort. I'm always seeing something rotate because it's never sitting still in my head, which is funny. They're always moving. It's always moving. To me, the rotation is about finding your rhythm, and I was getting ears listening. I feel like a lot of where life was calling you to is learning how to listen. Listen to your soul. Hear the call, but also hear the little bits and pieces of information too. There's something about you are very much here to learn how to listen to it. Some people say, oh, I'm following my gut, I'm following my instincts, I'm following my heart, but you're getting like strong instruction or specific instruction that's guiding you somewhere, taking you somewhere. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the Smoky Quartz and see if I can see anything in here. I'm seeing someone sitting in the dark and they seem kind of sad, like they're alone. It reminds me of someone sitting in a closet, or like they're in this like little space by themselves and they're sort of sad, but they're also praying and meditating too. Grief. I'm also getting sort of shamanic energy. If you've ever seen a shamanic ceremony, when they're singing, or I guess making noises, it's chanting, they're making noises. You guys have that spirit with you, in you, a part of you. Very much, I think a lot of you are old souls, or you have an imprint of an old soul, very old soul. Many lifetimes. Yeah, I'm just getting this energy of grief or sadness, and this guy's just sort of looking over, but he's like, this is the work I need to do. I need to do this. I need to be here. I need to sit in this space because it's my job. It's giving me this energy of like a creature who lived in a cave its entire life. That's sort of what I'm getting. Hermit. So like a little bit of hermiting, maybe 12th house, 8th house, or Virgo. But there's something about getting comfortable with it, because he actually looks quite comfortable too in it. He's like, yeah, I've learned how to sit in this cave all my life. I don't really have a choice. This is my existence. I'm also getting like a dual energy too. So the flip side of this is I'm getting this like confident, bright energy. Yeah, there's something about facing the fear, the shadow, or sitting in that depression that is awakening this explosion of light or energy within. And it feels very light. I don't know if you want to say light, but it feels like younger, feels bright, louder, younger. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull some cards and look into your soul contracts. I'm curious. Ace of Wands, new beginning. Yeah, so you guys were always contracted to experience some sort of new beginning in your life where you closed out that cycle, you completed that contract, and then once you completed that contract, it would ignite and start a whole new life for you. Whole new life, whole new perspective on life, a whole new lease on life. In the hand, to me, I'm getting this energy of strength, a strong sense for I'm meant to be here. There's something about going through this experience, building up within you this resilience where you were able to more confidently understand your purpose and to know you had a purpose, to know your existence is so much more profound than you realize. By going through that experience, your rank went up within yourself. You started to see how valuable you are, how much of a contribution you're making to this world. And it's big. I'm here, right? Beyonce's I was here, I did, I done, I was here. Oh, we got another one. 4 of Pentacles. You are contracted to build a strong, steady, stable foundation. You were contracted to be a stable force as well. Oh, I didn't really talk about Smoky Quartz, but this one, yeah, it's often about sometimes going through the storm or climbing Mount Everest or handling a lot of turbulence in your life. That's what I got. I was getting a lot of sadness, though, here. So to me, with the guy sitting in the cave, it's taking me to this 4 of Pentacles and needing to sit still, wait, be patient, let it come. The day will come. The day will come. The sun will come up at some point, but we have to wait. We have to be patient. We have to trust it. We have to trust that the sun is going to come up here. Yeah, so perhaps around your financial situation, your professional life, it's been taxing. That's what I'm hearing. It's been taxing. It's been underwhelming. And you've had to push through that. Because it's been a struggle where it's like, it's not really moving here. And you've had to let go of your fixation, your attachment to an idea about how you thought things were supposed to unfold. But I'm getting a lot of stability from this. 4 of Pentacles. Sometimes 4 of Pentacles can be about, holding on to something, but I'm getting that he looks at peace. His grip doesn't feel that tight here on this pentacle. It actually feels like he's napping, relaxing, waiting patiently for the day, for when he's called to move. All right, let's see what else wants to come through. Yeah, we got the Knight of Swords, and we have the Knight of Sword. Facing your anxiety, going through anxiety, learning how to be steady in spite of your anxiety when it comes to your situation. So, you know, one of the most difficult contracts of being human is we have to be, because everything feels so real, even though it's an illusion and it's temporary and whatnot, it still feels like, you know, if you were to stab me, it would hurt. Ouch. That would hurt. So with the swords, I'm getting like, ow, that hurts. And I think you guys have been in situations, and most definitely in your recent past, you've been in situations where things are just like, ow, that really hurts. This is not, I do not want to be experiencing this pain. I feel like I can't control it. Right? So maybe you've had to let go of control. There's something you've had to let go of because you're like, I can't do anything. I kind of have to sit in this energy, sit in this space, and just sort of wait for the tides to turn. And you've had to be patient about waiting for the tides to turn, but that's part of the test. It's part of a big awakening, breaking free of the matrix test, where you just have to trust that at some point it's going to let up. The force, the pressure is going to let up. And I think you guys have been put in a pressure cooker for sure. So don't feel bad about your mind running amok, but you know, you do have a choice to decide, how do I want to feel today? How would I like to welcome peace into my life? Do I want to welcome peace into my life? What am I willing to do to welcome that peace into my life? Okay, let's go ahead and pull some more cards and see what else wants to come through. Ooh, that was such a weird shuffle. All right, so we got here, take a divinely guided chance. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk. And you're ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories as you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate for you. You make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. So you guys are being called to take a chance. Big risk, big reward, I'm hearing. If we're willing to take the big risk, we get a big reward. Because that's just reciprocity from the universe right there. So the universe has positioned you for lots of abundance to come your way, but it needs a trade-off. And this is something I'm learning all the time about karma. It needs a trade-off. It needs some blood, sweat, and tears in order for you to get the other thing in exchange. It needs an energetic exchange. And the energetic exchange of abundance, of sometimes getting what you want, whether it's relationships or opportunities, is pain. Alchemy. It's you facing your fears. There's always got to be a trade-off. And the trade-off does not come in, it's not going to pay it forward for you to overwork yourself. In this case, it has more to do with you learning how to work with this, the human instrument, the body. Learning how to stay stable no matter what, sit in stillness, be patient, wait it out, and know that there's a day where it will come. And when things aren't coming, that's a good thing. It's a good sign, because that's the test. All right, we got here employment change. Your career path is leading you in a higher direction with positive changes to support your dreams, priorities, passions, and life purpose. Trust that these changes will help you release the old and welcome the new. You're being supported each step of the way. Welcome the new. Changes are taking off in your life, and space is being made for you to welcome the new. I don't really think of this literal, even though maybe in some cases you guys have lost the physical, whatever. You've had to let go of certain physical things, but it's more of the fixation on the controlling it. Here is what you've had to let go of the most, I think, has been the most important lesson here, the most important soul contract, because they have a very specific purpose, life purpose for you that they're aligning you with. This is your soul contract. Here, you got a life purpose, a higher direction, a positive change, a priority, a passion, something you're going to be passionate about here with this Ace of Wands. You're meant to follow your passion. You're meant to live your passion. You're meant to experience your passion. Your life is meant to be a passionate one. Group number 3. In order for you to do that, you need to go through the change, something that we don't like. The last thing on our list of the thing that we really want is change. We don't want it because then we have to get out of our comfort zone. We gotta, right here, you know, yeah, with the Four of Pentacles, you gotta get out of your comfort zone, right? For sure. But I was getting also a peaceful energy too with building the foundation. So you gotta get out of your comfort zone here because there's a big change. So you majorly had to get out of your comfort zone here. You majorly had to climb that Mount Everest to go on your hero's journey, learn about yourself, build up your inner resilience. Yes. Trust. They're screaming it at you. You're being supported each step of the way. There has not been a second where you've been alone in this, group number 3. There has not been a second where you've been alone in this. Not since you took your first breath. Even before that, technically. All right, let's go and pull some more cards and see what else wants to come through. Yeah, your mind might be creating projections about like, well, you know, this is how it's supposed to go. No, whatever's happening is exactly what's meant to happen. So put your hand on your heart and say that. We got here bully. Ooh. Yeah. So this is a soul contract that you've had to overcome as well. Highlights your tendency to intimidate others. Helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. You probably had some bullies in your life. Group number 3 you've had to deal with. But the biggest bully of all is that voice in your head. It's not you. That voice isn't you, by the way. It's just a voice in your head reacting to this situation saying, I don't want to deal with this. This is horrible. This is the absolute worst. I'm terrible. Like all of these self-worth energies are going to come up. You probably have a lot of development going on around, it could be Taurus energy or second house where you're having to build up your self-worth through this situation where you're feeling unworthy. You're feeling like there's something wrong with you when things don't go right in our lives. We lose self-respect and it has nothing to do with us. It's just happening and it's just a test and it's building up our strength. Preserve and you will overcome. Preserve and you will overcome, right? This is throat chakra here. Speak the truth. The truth is, they said, you're being supported every step of the way. Speak that truth every day. Replace it with the fear. It says conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. Right? So when people get defensive and they turn into bullies, they start saying mean things. When we start getting guarded, we start saying mean things to ourselves. Every single one of those is lies. Really listen to that voice and understand where it's coming from and realign with the true voice. It's a little quieter. It's not as loud as this guy. This guy's going to be loud. He's very intimidating, right? But you got a softer voice in there. It's quieter. It's at peace. It's telling you it's going to be okay. You're fine. We are going through huge collective shifts and you're moving with that, group number 3. Let's go ahead and pull some more cards for you guys. We got here Akashic Records. Akashic Records. Clearing old stories, releasing past lives, freedom. Right. So part of the reason why this work is so hard is because you're releasing a lot of past life energy. My goodness, who knows how long you've been here, group number 3? Who knows? There's so much you're clearing out. You're clearing and you're cleansing, you're alchemizing, you're doing that work. And you've been sitting in that storm and that muck for some time because that's the vibe I was getting. It starts to feel really sad and very depressing. It's like, I don't want to be here in this cave. I want to go out there and enjoy the sunlight, but I can't move. And I have to deal with this. Here. Spiritual warrior. You are clearing old stories. You're releasing past lives. Freedom. So energetically, it's hard for us to conceptualize this stuff, but there's so much that goes into healing. There's a reason why it's so painful. There's layers to it. So you're contracted to clear the Akashic records, to clear your Akashic records, to clear your ancestral patterns as well. Okay, group number 3. So I forgot to read the Akashic records from the book, talking about it. So I'm putting up a snapshot of it, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the audio of me reading it. So Akasha is a Sanskrit word that means ether or sky-based. And as explained above, the Akashic records are a compendium of universal events, experiences and lifetimes held in the spiritual realms. Helena Blavatsky, one of the founders of Theosophy, described them as an indestructible tablets of the astral light. We can visit the Akashic records in our dreams, visions, and meditations. When we are transported or guided to connect with them, we are being given the opportunity to take an inventory of our life and all the events that have taken place in it, and to gain information on lifetimes past. When you draw this card, the universe is releasing you from the past experiences. These can be soul-based memories, fears from previous lifetimes, or older aspects of this current lifetime that you've moved on from. Know that this is the time to reclaim your freedom and rewrite your story. You can do this by following through on your dreams. Gone are the days of fear-based indecision. This is a time to rise up and claim your truth. If you are sitting on a dream or are feeling called to move in a particular direction, it's because you have unearthed an important soul lesson, and it is essential for you to follow that call to clear unwanted energies of your past. As you do so, don't allow yourself to be pulled into expecting the worst possible outcome. Know that this expectation is not your truth, but old energy being released from your body, your energy body. Call on the angels to shine their light on any repressed fears, energies, or stories that are no longer serving you. It's time to fly high in freedom. Yeah, so there's a lot of messages coming through with the swords that's showing you you're releasing repressed fears. And one of the things that we often hear is that in order for us to heal something, heal pain, we have to feel it. So you might be in a place right now where you're experiencing pain. And so what the universe often does is it concocts certain situations or circumstances for us. And it puts us in circumstances where we have to experience or feel some kind of pain, because this is the only way we'll be able to release it. So it's not the situation necessarily in your life that you're experiencing, or you've been experiencing, or you've experienced in your recent past that is actually causing the pain. What it's doing is it's activating pain inside of you that's been stuck, that needs to be released in order for you to ascend. And once your ascension is completed and you receive those upgrades that are needed, you'll be able to have you've cleared out all of this space to receive new and more and freer energy and healthier energy. Just imagine you climbing up a mountain, and at that top of that mountain, you get to breathe fresher air. That's the kind of life that you're creating for yourself, where you're going to have an opportunity to breathe fresher air for yourself. So yes, part of that trade-off that I was talking about and I was referring to, I don't know where I'm going to put this clip, but we have to alchemize our pain. We don't just get to experience joy. We have to turn our pain into joy. That's part of the human experience, is we have to go inside of ourselves and move the energy and transform it so that we get to experience the good things and feel the good things in our lives. So pain is good because you just get to keep alchemizing it and turning it into beauty. You can take all of those lemons in your life and turn it into lemonade. So pain is good. It's our fuel to joy. It's our pathway to joy. So that's where you're at right now. And I think the universe right now, your guides, light beings, are definitely sympathizing with you, and they're telling you you're going to have to feel some pain to experience the good on the other side. And I think going through my own dark night of the soul and this transformative experience too, sometimes I question that, because I'm like, I thought I kind of healed some of this stuff before. Why am I having to re-experience all of this pain? But I called for it in my life, and as did anyone who's watching this channel. You guys called for more. You called to be limitless. And in order for us to tune into more expansiveness and a limitless energy, we have to release we got to clear out space for it to happen, for us to feel it. So yeah, it just comes with the territory, and just know that it has an end date, it has a shift, so it's not going to be forever, and it's a cycle you're going through in your life. But whatever pain you're feeling, I want you to let go of the blame or shame around it, and acknowledge that you're feeling the pain, you're feeling the fear, and you're probably feeling, as they're acknowledging in this book, some past life fear that's been repressed, or ancestral fear that's been locked up in your DNA, and you're releasing it here. So well done, group number 3. Keep doing that work, because obviously, you know, there's so many great things on the horizon for you. All right. Closing this out. Okay. Yeah, this card, sometimes it reminds me of Aladdin. And the adventure, I don't really know much about Aladdin, but it's just giving me this energy of adventure. There's so many layers. There's past lives. There's ancestral energy involved. So don't go crazy trying to figure out why you're needing to do all this clearing. It's just that you're doing it. I don't know. You could probably tune in and do a meditation. I think you could actually meditate on this. I would actually encourage you to do that. Meditate on your Akashic records and see what is there that you're clearing out. Okay, let's go ahead and pull one more here. Okay, almost. We got Odin, Psychic Insight. Your third eye is open, see truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. Follow your intuition. Yes, you guys are open, you guys are ready, you guys have been trained for this. You guys are in a place where your third eye is open. You just know, you have a sense for what's going to happen next. Use that psychic insight as a compass to guide you, to show you the way, to know what you need to do next, because the universe isn't going to show you all of the steps. It's going to show you the next 1 or 2 perhaps, but it's going to show you maybe like the general outcome of how things are going to work out. And they're telling you you're supported, it's going to work out. But tune into your intuition to really guide you, to show you where you need to go. And this is an inner sight that you're learning how to trust. You're contracted to learn how to trust your intuition, to trust your inner sight, which is why when you look at your physical situation, it's not going to be an accurate representation of what's really going on in your life. So don't rely on your outer situation to tell you what's going on, because it's a lie. I'm telling you, it's deceiving you. It's just Maya. It's an illusion, and it's not, it in no way represents truth to what you're actually going through. There's so much more going on here. I'm also here, like, I heard like war in my head. So like a spiritual warfare is probably what you're experiencing too. So you got to choose how would you like to proceed forward with this? All right, let's pull some cards, final cards to end your reading, group number 3. Cancer. We got Venus, Cancer, and the 6th house. All right, so 6th house is about our habits, our daily life, our routine life. Sometimes it can be a house where we put a lot of labor and work into it. It's also a house about building our foundation, right? With the 4 of Pentacles, building your foundation. We also have here Cancer energy, your emotions, your attunements. It's about that cyclical energy and those shifts, your intuition. It's about your emotional mind as well, your intuitive intellect. And we have here Venus, which is about pleasure, love, abundance, receptivity. So you're receiving a lot of psychic insight, psychic upgrades as well. Let's go ahead and clarify this. And Venus and Cancer, that's a very nurturing, loving energy. In the 6th house, which actually can be quite nurturing too. Like you giving to yourself on a day-to-day. Tell us more about this Venus, Cancer, and the 6. Ace of Pentacles, very nice. All right. Beautiful new beginning coming for you guys. It's going to be very prosperous, very abundant for you as well. Can you tell me more about the Venus in Cancer and the 6th house. This is your payoff. Yeah. This is a group I was just talking about. There has to be an exchange. There's an energetic exchange. Whenever we create abundance and wealth in our life, there's an exchange. You have to pay blood, sweat, and tears for it. You have to alchemize energy. You have to turn that pain. If you ever want to experience abundance, you have to turn that pain and you have to turn it into light. So, while we might sometimes criticize the people who have a lot of money and whatnot, perhaps some of it is good karma from previous lifetimes, but some of it is they had to pay something for that, right? They had to make some kind of energetic sacrifice within themselves to get that. And a lot of that came with sacrificing, becoming more disciplined in a way. That's what they had to do. We have here, whoa, oh my goodness, a whooping King of Wands. A whooping King of Wands. What's going on? Venus, Cancer. Okay, well, all you guys need to know is that there's going to be like an opportunity that just comes out of the blue, shows up in your life, and it's going to be everything and then some here. Because universe is treating you like royalty. That's how much work that you've been putting into this here with the spiritual warrior Smoky Quartz energy. This and then some. I don't know. It's abundant. It's like royalty. The king on the throne. Yeah, you guys are very much supported. You are very much loved. You have very much been working on this. Like I said, the 6th house can be a house where you put a lot of work into it, labor, work into your day-to-day, and it's self-care. That's what it is. King of Wands. This is all about self-care. This is about you prioritizing yourself. That's what the exchange was. You have to learn how to do that. So when you don't prioritize yourself, it's hard for the universe to give you things because you're not receptive to getting what you want. So you have to prioritize your well-being. You have to put yourself in a space where you're like, you know what? I'm going to prioritize my health. I'm going to prioritize my well-being. I'm going to prioritize my happiness. The King of Wands gets what he wants because he prioritizes himself. So as opposed to you prioritizing yourself in a very selfish way, you had to pay for this. You really had to alchemize a lot, go through a lot of fear, pain, drudgery to get to where you're at. So I know just from seeing this energy, it's very much earned. So continue to take care of yourself. You being your first priority, to me with that 6th house, again, it could be routine life, you just taking care of yourself at home. This is what is the huge payoff for you guys, group number 3. Yeah. And creating a new foundation for yourself where self-care is a priority. You taking care of yourself, you loving yourself, self-love, self-care. This is what is bringing you something that's very much deserved because you said, I deserve it. I'm worth it. I earned it. Right? All of the songs from the weekend, all the lines from the weekend song earned it. Okay. I want to close out your reading with one more thing. What is that one more thing? Now, let me pull one more card. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull one more card from this deck here to close out your reading. Oh my gosh, what was I saying about prayer? The power of prayer. Give this situation to God for uplifting and healing. And be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance God gives you in response to your prayers. Yeah, I was getting a lot of stillness is what you're being asked to embrace. Patience, facing the fear, whatever fear is showing up, being brave and facing it. Not walking away from it, not running away from it. That to me feels like the divine guidance. And then you can also meditate and just see what else wants to come through. So your prayers are being answered, group number 3. I hope you guys see that. It's very apparent. So most certainly know that whatever you're putting out there into the universe, it's all being received. That's going to be the end of your reading here, group number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe to support, and let me know if this resonates. Thank you. Bye.